the first couple days, maybe first couple weeks, what for you was the biggest, I guess it's weird to say culture shock because it's not really a culture. It's like I guess it is a culture, a culture being in the station itself, but I guess
Yeah.
getting adjusted to Antarctica in general, and what was, like, the most shocking portions there?
Well, I would say it's not really a culture shock to get there, but actually to come back. Obviously, when you get there, you're preparing for a 1 year's mission. So you want to take everything that is possible to take to Antarctica. You're like planning all your stuff, you're planning your year, you're thinking about all the little details of material or equipment you may need down there. But to be honest, living in Antarctica is not that complicated, so you just adjust your environment in terms of material equipment, right? So you're just gonna adapt to that, and you don't really have to have a lot to survive in Antarctica. Coming back though, that's kind of a culture shock because you're living with 12 other people in a small station. You don't need to, worry about what you're going to do during the day because your role is very clear in South Korea. You don't need to worry about what to eat, to prepare a meal, to worry about grocery shopping and stuff like that. So you're a little bit protected from this really fast running world. And when you come back, that's, at least for me, that was a culture shock because you come back to a world that is fast, a world that is moving, a world that is loud, a world that has a lot of signs. So to readapt to that was for me more difficult than to actually adapt to the Antarctic environment where you are kind of protected, right?
Yeah, because I imagine you mentioned the noise. Like, in Antarctica, I imagine it's so quiet all the time, especially when you guys are outside. It's probably just otherworldly silence.
Yeah. Yeah. So in Antarctica, you basically have no sound at all when you're outside, except of the wind on your clothes, and then your footsteps in the snow, and then your breathing. I think the breathing is the loudest thing you actually have in Antarctica. So this has both, a relaxing part, but also a part that is a bit scary because you feel like you're really alone. So, especially when you go, with a glaciologist, so you go outside the station, you go to a shelter, for example, and you find yourself in the middle of nothing. And when you have the polar night where it's dark 24 hours, you really feel like on another planet. You sometimes even feel like, a little astronaut on another planet because you hear your breathing. You are, yeah, with your clothes, like everything is really, really covered because of the risk of the cold. And there you really feel alone. And I usually say that inside the station you have this electrical central stuff that is running to kind of keep the station warm, right? So you hear that and you feel safe because the station is running and the station is safe, and safe for you because if you're not hearing that noise, you're not going to survive. So when you're really outside the station in a shelter in the polar night, you have nothing and you have this sensation of no life, that the environment is hostile, that you're not supposed to be actually here. And yeah, that's quite interesting, but also a bit scary.
Yeah, how frequent were those polar nights? Like, how many days did you guys get where it was 24 hours of complete darkness?
Well, it's 4 months in total, and the fifth month is kind of changing and having variability. So you have a little bit of light, but no sunrise, and so we say 4 to 5 months in total.
Did that play a major impact on the mood of the whole station itself?
Yeah, it can have. It depends on the year, it depends on the people, it depends on the adaptability. But of course, I mean, it's polar night, so there's no sunlight, there's no vitamin D. We do actually have vitamin D to take it, and we have UV lights to have a little sun inside the station. But yeah, it can have an impact on your mood, especially it can go towards a depression or like a monthly depression. Some people go isolated in the isolation, so they go a little bit more in their rooms. They're not coming out a lot. Yeah, definitely can have an impact also on the circadian rhythm. So you're not sleeping very well. Um,
Oh, yeah.